Welcome back to Grown Folk Talk with Patrice. We are continuing our conversation on parenting with a purpose, with the parent who parents with a purpose. Yeah. Shantia Frobert, mother of 4. So we talked about all the stuff that you have going on. The question I have is, how do you manage your time? So your significant other, Zara's dad, he requires your time. Zai requires your time either on FaceTime or when he's here. Mm-hmm. Shania requires your time. Molly requires your time. Zara requires your time. And Shantia requires your time. So how do you manage all of that and stay sane? So I'm sorry. So I would imagine your children, there are gaps in their ages. They want just me and mommy time. So how do you do all of that?
It's very hard. Sometimes it's stressful. Mm-hmm. I will always do something with everyone at once.
Right.
So that's never an issue. Wherever you see Shantia, you see her children. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the individual quality time, it's definitely difficult for me. I have, in recent times, have tried to do little things. Mm-hmm. And the last time we were all at home, but I had to go to a room for half an hour with one, then switch to the next.
Okay.
And that kind of works out. But being able to physically, if Zara wasn't in the picture, let's eliminate Zara from the picture, it would be easier. Shy's old and all.
Right.
So it will allow me to do things with Molly, but it is difficult to do things outside of the house.
Right.
With just one person. And then because I have so much to do, so I set 5 alarms. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but...
You set 5 alarms?
5 alarms get set. Kevin calls me crazy, but...
What do you mean to do what?
To wake up. So it will start at 5:40 and then it will go off again. You hit snooze, it will go off again at 5:50, then 6, then 6:15, then 6:30. By 6:30, I have to be up.
Right.
But 5 alarms I set. So from 5:40, the first alarm, you might as well say I'm up. So I'm up probably until I get home and settled and everyone's in bed, which is the latest 10 o'clock.
Wow.
So by time I do everything I have to do, and get in my bed, there's Kevin. Oh, are we going to watch this movie? And I'm like,
sir,
I love you dearly, but I really just need to close my eyes.
Right. And so you can say, oh yeah, we're going to watch the movie, sure.
And he appears to be understanding, but I know deep down he's probably just ready to strangle me.
When are we going to have a movie?
It's been times where he's saying, you never want to, and it's not that I don't want to sit down and watch this movie or go out and, have time with just him, which we're doing on Saturday, thanks to you.
Yes.
But it's hard because I'm tired.
Yeah. And so he has called me in the past to say, I would like to take my girlfriend out on a date. Can you keep the children, please?
Because he knows I'm not going to ask.
Right. And the thing is, you can, but you don't, right?
Because in my head, I'm like, no, because if we go out, then I'm thinking about tomorrow, because tomorrow we have to be up early in my organizational skills.
Right.
We have to be up early for dance. So that's not going to work because I'm not going to be up in time. And he's like, will you just stop?
Right. Because there was a time you said that. I said, well, they can go dance from my house, I have beds at my house where you can bring them and leave them, and then they can go to dance from there. But I get it.
It's just me and my mindset. And I'll use the last time you cap him as an example. He arranged that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I said to you, I'll be there first thing in the morning, because in my head,
right,
people shouldn't have to deal with my children after the fact, so I'm going to get up early, go pick them up. And why did you do that?
Excuse you, I'll tell you when you can come for them. It's no need to come. But I get it. And I appreciate that you don't take people for granted or take advantage. And your mind is always, all right, I'll be there bright and early. No, we're not moving bright and early.
And you've talked about me before, but I send my children with food.
So when she packs her children to go wherever, it's food for the entire neighborhood. So they come with food, they come with clothes ready. If let's say it is dance tomorrow, then the clothes are ready for dance. I don't have to iron or do anything or pack anything. So they come with bags.
Yes, they do.
And everything is there. And what the food say like, and I said, well, does she think I don't have food in my house? Especially when it's a hurricane. When you used to come during a storm, they would come to my house because she's petrified of hurricanes. And it would be like there's bins on wheels with food and all of that, the non-perishables and things like that. So then the organization really kicks in then. So when your children are staying out or staying with people, then it's organization. And so people appreciate that. It's not necessary, but it's appreciated. You know what I mean?
I do. And I think in my head, I chose to have 4 children, not the people I'm giving them to, right? And Kevin and I we don't get at it, but we've had discussions before because, you know, he wings it. That's all he does. He wings it. And he'll be like, oh, we're going to so-and-so's house today. And in my head, I'm having a mouth on and I'm saying, what are we taking? Like, do they know we're bringing all of these children? Because I don't just like to show up or send my children somewhere, all 4 of them. And just expect people to do for them and feed them and everything. Not that people... You may have a problem with it, but
we get it.
That's just how I am.
Yeah, of course. And you do. And I mean, if we have family functions, you know, you make sure that you're not just showing up. And if you came without anything, it would be fine because you're not going to do it every time. But it is noted. So organization for you has kept you in some semblance of sanity.
It has, and that comes right down to the state of your house. So my children, like, get your room clean. What is this? What is this mess? Why do I smell last week's lunch? What is going on? Like, and it's to the point now where they get up, they make the beds, the room is tidy, it's clean, because in my head, mess equals stress. Because if I have to jump over this, do that, do the other, then I'm losing my scruples. We washed the other day. We have laundry that I need to fold. That's there, and it's stressing me out, and it's just clean laundry. But mass equals stress.
Mass equals stress. So speaking of that, you said, because you sent me some information. You want to tell moms they can't do it all. So you have a chart and a list and responsibilities and things like that. How does that work?
So everyone has a rule in the house, and it really, really started during COVID because I was already stressed. I was on edge. I realized that you can't do it all. So everybody's going to have a role here. So you're cooking breakfast, you're doing lunch, you're doing dinner, you'll do the dishes, you sweep the floor, you clean the bathroom, and then it came into a chart. So we have a chores chart. Does everyone follow it all the time? No, but it gets done. Right.
And so sometimes they don't follow it, and do they get in trouble?
No, because the room will be clean, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll take that. So
so there's balance. So it's not like just because you didn't fold the socks, but your room's clean, you cooked made the lunch or whatever you did. Okay, cool. So you're not expecting them to be perfect.
And I really focus on it on weekends when we have time. During the week, there is no time. There's no, and we're getting home 9 o'clock. I can't expect my children to be, cleaning the whole bathroom at 9 o'clock when they have homework and stuff to do for the next day. So it works out.
So everybody understands the assignment though.
Yes. They understand the assignment, and I understand that I cannot do it all by myself.
Which is smart. So some people do. Yes. Some people do, and then they're grumbling about everything instead of assigning their children chores to do.
Yes. And don't get me wrong. This wasn't something that came lightly to me because I don't know for you, but I can speak for myself. Nobody does something the way that you do it.
Right.
So the children, Zara's 2 and she wants to fold clothes.
Yes, I've seen Zara's
folding clothes is literally rolling it up into a ball and putting it her. So, I have to be proud of her for her wanting to do it, but deep down I'm screaming because I'm like, that's not how you do it. So, when she turns her head, I'll just whip it together and put it down. But if they sweep the floor and it's not the way I want it, I'll just sweep it again. So.
Because some people
I'll get them to come back and be like, maybe you should sweep braid her.
Right, yeah. And some people do that. Some people will do, I don't want anybody to do anything because they don't do it how I want it done. And then They grumble because they're
They're doing too
stressed and
much.
tired, and they have too much to do, and nobody's helping me, and I have to do everything around here. That's what people do. So assign your children their chores and responsibilities, and let them know that's what you expect. It's not an option.
No. And reward them. If you if you reward them, as I did initially, here's some change, then it motivates them to want to do it, and eventually they do it.
Okay, all right. And do they always get rewarded, or is it?
It depends, because if you asked for ABC last week, that's your reward.
Oh, okay. And so now, running the spa, your children also work at the spa, including Zara.
The boss.
So the boss, Zara, the boss. So that's something you do together as well. So it's a kids spa. So everybody, you all have your uniforms. You go down there, and everybody has their role at the spa.
Yeah.
So that's spending time together, as well as teaching them about entrepreneurship, about responsibilities, right, and about interacting with people and things. What else? What else has
Personal hygiene.
Okay. Personal hygiene.
The spa, definitely. I can't even say the spa. For my children, it was before the spa, but personal hygiene is big for me, right? So the spa, when I thought about doing this idea, I was like, you know what? I'm really going to drive in this personal hygiene stuff, because I have 3 girls and a son. I don't really have to tell him. Wow.
Right.
I have a few stories about him.
When he was younger.
But personal hygiene for me is big. Appearance has always been something.
Talk to me about that. How important is appearance?
It's very
for your
important to
children?
me, because I really, really, really get upset when I see children, and I don't want to call them scruffy, but I see children who look the way that they shouldn't. But then I see the parents, and it's the complete opposite of what I see in the
Parents
child.
are tight. Parents are.
You will never
the
see me
nines.
looking better than my children, ever.
We will never see you looking better
Never.
than your children.
Never.
That's interesting.
And as old as my children are, if you were in my house every morning, you will hear me. Do you have deodorant on? Did you put lotion on? Did you brush your teeth? Let me see your teeth. What's going on with your hair right here? Because I cannot. When they leave the house, they're
representing you. We've heard that all our lives.
Yes.
I heard that as a little girl.
So one sock is shorter than the other. Either change them or pull it up or something. That's how petty I am. Call me petty if you want, but it's big for me. I honestly, I can't deal with children who look as if they're not being taken care of. And that could be part of me. Part of it could be me being a police officer too, right? And just knowing what should take place and what doesn't take place.
Right.
But I can't.
Especially when they are not a hair out of place, dressed to the nines, all the latest, everything.
Her nails, lashes, you name it, is on, and then there's your child, and it's like, why? So I opened this spa in hopes that, we offer hair services, we offer little mani pedis, get our toes and nails right, and just make them feel special. Right.
It's all part of parenting and taking pride and instilling pride in your children. And as your children are getting older now and all, and you're still on them about that. You're still on them. And it's not, you're not, hammering them, but you're, sometimes it's let me see those teeth. You clean, let me see. You go back and clean them. And, it's not harsh. It's not, it's made fun. But they know that you mean it.
Yes, and they will know that you have to take care of yourself.
Yes,
you have to.
Right, and sometimes it seems like parents are afraid to parent. But we'll talk about that when we come back. We are continuing our conversation of parenting with a purpose with Shantia when we come back here on Grown Food Talk with Patrice.